Biolo competing for it and winning it, and here again is Pierre Lake, faced for the first time by Parley, lifting it forward into the path of Ed Nielsen, who had got forward from centre-half, had stayed forward from the set-piece and couldn't get a glancing touch on it.
This is the ball that's played quite regularly. Legler from left side midfield clips the ball forward, and Ed Nielsen, who's a very talented player in my opinion, but keep an eye on him defensively, he takes chances. I think he can catch him out in Arsenal.
Forward. Upton Park habitués will remember him well. Deflans. The Brazilian Ed Nielsen again, seeking out his countryman Anderson and finding Marley. And Marley is faced by Seaman, who stuck out a hand and got something on it. And that, unorthodox as it was, actually works out as a first-rate save.
Gilles Raimondi just gets caught napping, caught sleeping, and but for the outstretched hand of David Seaman, that would have been 1-0. He just lost sight of the ball, lost his man Marley again, willing, and David Seaman's in no man's land, and that should have been 1-0.
Legel's corner. Up by Vieira, and then second time by Grimondi. Ball again by Brusche. Grimondi away from Marley. Leg. Marley. Harlan trying to establish a modicum of control. Back in again though by Legler. Adams tied it up to a greater degree, and Vieira has his foot on it now. Looking for Henry, who has pace of course and who can run at Ed Nielsen here for Arsenal. It's Thierry Henry to the byline and beyond the side lesson.
That's an area they can definitely exploit. Thierry Henry one-on-one with anybody, whether you're Brazilian, whatever nationality, he can take anybody with his power.
Forward by the floor. By Adams from in front of Marley, came to Anderson, it's Foy. Got away from Adams and turned it wide for Dorasu. The linesman has flagged him on. And Dorasu's cross.
Ashle's arms up. His arms up.
Nothing given.
That's a penalty. His arms up there. You stick your arm up there and you are taking the chance. I think he got away with that, Ashley Cole.
Dorasu's corner, header from Foy, and into the arms of David Seaman. It is a high-tempo start to the game. Foy winning that aerial duel with Adams. Cole. And Thierry Henry, who himself only has one Champions League goal this year so far. Here goes Canu long-leggedly and awkwardly. Canu all the way, maybe! Canu! Oh! It's what he is all about. The ball adhering to his boot.
If Arsenal are going to make this system work, they've got to give Canu the ball to his feet, because this is what he can do. A little bit of luck, yes. A little bit of composure, a little bit more composure needed, but he is unlucky.
Viola. Anderson, Marley ahead of him. Dixon made his presence felt. Parler. Lauren. Parler. And again, Foy doing the tidying up.
Arsenal are too open for me, far too open, leave themselves exposed. Look at that big gap in midfield.
Dorasu. Anderson. Marley back post. Dorasu edge of the penalty area. Anderson's cross. Here goes Marley. Grimondi was importantly placed. Dorasu! Fine save by Seaman. Arsenal under the cosh, but defending with desperation and desire, particularly Gilles Grimondi. Marley for Anderson to run at Adams. It's Sonny Anderson away from Tony Adams, who bolts him and has conceded a free kick. And what else?
Tony Adams decided to drop off here.
A yellow card. Well, it was a heart-and-mouth moment for the Arsenal skipper when the referee went to his pocket. I guess there was an interpretation which said he was the last man before goal. It's Ed Nielsen! Oh! Ferocious indeed, and very close.
Well, he got hold of it. I don't think he got any fade on it. That's what he's looking for. It's a deflection, in fact. It's Ria Parler. That might have been testing David Seaman to the full.
Saved the goal, I think, Ray Parler. It is a corner. Legler with it. Foy climbing, and Anderson looking to get the final touch.
They've won the fair share now, haven't they? They expect Tony Adams to be dominating, and they're not quite getting it all his own way.
Rimondi. Arsenal probing, feeling their way towards the edge of the box with Kanu. And Kanu in for Henry to hit one! He grazed the post! Beautifully worked, sublime interplay by Arsenal's front two, which nearly bore fruit here.
They haven't done this very often in the first half, have they? Linked well together. Great flick on Henry, great run. Fantastic strike, great technique. Question is, did he hit it too well?
Henry. Well, Kanu, he's nudged himself away from Ed Milson, and he has auxiliary troops up in the edge of the penalty area, but chose to go himself.
And it was a wrong choice, Pete. An angle like that, he chooses to go at Coupe. Look at the angle, it's impossible. He's got Thierry Henry and Robert Pires driving into the box. The very least he can do is ask the question of the defenders, as was asked of Tony Adams the first half.
Slightly different mood and tempo since the break. A bit of safety first about the play, though Parler ran into danger here in the shape of Marley, who skipped away from Parler second time, but Vieira's long leg was stuck out to good effect, and Pires has time to turn and to attempt to run between two and then to find Vieira. So he won it back. Vieira had a nibble at Violo, who was allowed to carry on. Dorasu away from Cole and away from Vieira.
Well done, Ashley Cole. Patrick Vieira was patrolling around, but he didn't help Ashley Cole at all.
One for Henry, who's taken it neatly and who can tease Ed Milson here. Thierry Henry. Good tackle by Ed Milson, who stood his ground well. Henry has it back and let go a shot which was without vigour, but which represented the first threat of the second half for Arsenal.
Sorry, Pete, we're getting more of the same, aren't we? The pace is still in the game.
Dixon. Lowry. Dixon has stayed forward. Dixon's cross. Touched on by Lowry when Kanu was behind him and might have craved to go himself.
First time Lee Dixon's ventured forward. Not the best of crosses, but again it shows the ambition.
Vieira, well run. Marley. Cleverly away from Parler. Marley in here for Anderson. Anderson strike, and Seaman got a touch. Very important and very good save at full length from David Seaman.
Great play, great link-up play. Fantastic little run, 5-yard guard. Goes for the far post, took a wicked bounce in front of David Seaman. Anderson knows where the goal is, knows exactly where he wants to put it. Look at that, just kicked up. I'm not even sure Seaman touched that.
Well, if he did, those were wonderful reactions. De Flandre back in and up and under now for the Arsenal goalkeeper. And the assumption has to be, because a corner was given, that he did touch it. It was clearly debatable, but what you would have to say is that David Seaman is demonstrating terrific reaction there.
Link up so well, Marley and Anderson Dorner. You know, they just need half a yard, electric pace, vision. Marley has been very impressive, but Anderson is the main threat on goal, I feel.
Pires. Oh, by Brochet, but he ran into trouble in the shape here of Pires, and Henry picked out Lauren. And Arsenal have men forward. Parler going wide, Lauren squatting his run, Brochet holding him off, Parler going to ground, but nothing given. Trip by Foy, who's got to be a bit careful. He's on a yellow card.
Vieira's fired up now. He knows he's in the game. So does Foy.
In towards Henry. Oh, well taken by Cole. Pires with Cole wide of him, and Arsenal! A goal of massive potential consequence from a Frenchman in France. And the 2,000 who've travelled from London have a mood that contrasts so greatly with that of Gregory Coupé. And look at the role here played by young Ashley Cole.
Well, Ashley Cole's been bang under pressure all game. This is the first time he's really got forward. Great skill in that position. What do? Clip it up, stand it up. It's a lottery because he's stuck at it, and we said the fullbacks need to show ambition. If Arsenal are going to win this game, that's ambition with skill, and that's a fine finish. Great to see.
Busher. Anderson, lovely touch. Leg. Marley. Onside here. Steve Marley. Pocketed by David Seaman.
Lee Dixon's not happy with the linesman. Straight link-up play. Has the ball slotted through?
I think he's on.
I'm not sure. That is very tight.
Dorasu. Anderson can take this and stab it forward. And Seaman was in just the right spot, but in truth half a yard either side, and it was 1-1.
Poor position by Grimondi. I don't know if he just got across and did enough. Great take, knows what he wants to do, get it down, get a quick shot on. Grimondi's presence maybe just put him off, but he didn't get enough purchase on to trouble Seaman.
Oh, Henry's won a ball he shouldn't have had a sniff at. And he's lining up a shot. Thierry Henry! Ooh. Well, first they gave him it, and then they showed very little inclination to win it back. They stood off Thierry Henry here as he pondered his shot, and finally got it away just wide. Back on course. The Arsenal result that they so crave, they have indeed achieved. They've done so through Thierry Henry's headed goal made for him by Ashley Cole. But there were a lot of heroes out there. It is Arsenal's 6th consecutive clean sheet. David Seaman played his part, let that not be forgotten. A team effort which has brought about an outcome that matters much in Highbury, North London and beyond. It's finished in the Stade de Gerland, Lyon 0, Arsenal 1.
Arsene Wenger will be delighted with the result and performance on that return to his homeland. We'll find out exactly how thrilled after the break, when we'll also catch up on Bayern Munich's home game against Spartak Moscow in the same group.
There's never been any doubt about Robert Pires' ability. It was just a lack of self-belief which was holding back this unassuming man. And that on the recommendation of an unexpected source.
Nicolas Anelka et Emmanuel Petit ont été décisifs pour moi parce qu'ils m'ont beaucoup parlé en bien de Londres, d'Arsenal, de son public, de ses fans. Et aujourd'hui, je m'aperçois qu'ils avaient raison, et je peux vous dire aujourd'hui qu'ils ont un peu de regret d'avoir quitté Londres et surtout Arsenal. Il est très bien, et surtout c'est quelqu'un de respectable. Vous savez, vous pouvez discuter avec lui de n'importe quoi. Ce qui est bien, c'est que quand vous ne faites pas un bon match, il vous le dira et il vous le mettra sur le banc. Mais vous le mettra sur le banc justement pour vous reposer et pour réfléchir justement à ce qui n'a pas été. Et je crois que ça, c'est une bonne méthode. Vous savez, en Angleterre, ce qui est bien, c'est que les équipes, elles jouent pour gagner. Alors qu'en France, des fois, quand une équipe joue à l'extérieur, elle joue pour le match nul. C'est-à-dire qu'elle va pas attaquer, quoi. Alors qu'ici, il faut attaquer, il faut marquer, il faut faire plaisir aux supporters, il faut s'amuser, quoi, quelque part. Et c'est la différence avec, le championnat français, quoi. Et aussi la grosse différence, c'est que physiquement, ici, je peux vous dire qu'il faut être costaud, quoi. Il faut être fort, et des fois, c'est pas facile, surtout quand on vient d'un championnat comme celui de la France, où c'est plus technique, c'est un peu plus relax. Ici, non. Ici, il n'y a pas de relax, et ici, il faut faire toujours attention, quoi.
Robert Perez. Oh, it's 5.
C'est vrai que la Cup ici, c'est vraiment important, mais pour tout le monde. Que ce soit pour les équipes de première division ou de deuxième, troisième ou quatrième. Donc, aussi, les gens, quand on les rencontre dans la rue, ils vous disent, oui, si vous pouviez gagner la Cup, ce serait vraiment formidable. Donc, on va essayer parce que c'est important. Le prochain match, il est difficile, hein, c'est Chelsea, en Cup. Mais bon, vu qu'on est dans une bonne période, on va y croire jusqu'au bout.
And that's Perez with a shot, and he scored.
Malheureusement, 2 Anglais.
Oui, absolument.
Alors pour nous, ouais, parce que moi je vous dis franchement, pour moi les 5 Anglais sont très très importants dans l'équipe et l'effectif d'Arsenal, surtout Adams, parce qu'il a beaucoup d'expérience, parce qu'il est important dans la défense, parce qu'il parle beaucoup, comme on dit en France, il rassure tout le monde, et ça se voit quand il est là et il n'est pas là. Donc c'est vrai qu'il contre Chelsea il ne sera pas là, Ray aussi, parce que Ray Parlour est en grande forme en ce moment. Il l'a prouvé les derniers matchs, notamment son but face à Bradford. Donc c'est vrai que pour nous c'est un handicap, mais bon, les joueurs qui vont les remplacer, ils seront là pour faire le maximum.
Is that the crucial point, Paul, that Tony Adams won't play, Martin Keown won't play, Ray Parlour won't play? That will give Chelsea some heart, I guess.
Is that what he was saying? Yeah, I mean, for all of the brilliance Arsenal have got, the likes of Adams, Keown and Ray Parlour are the backbone of the team. But I just think they'll just have enough to beat Chelsea tomorrow.
When you look at the stats, Steve, you say, well, Arsenal have had a great run, haven't been conceding goals, but sooner or later they're going to concede one, I guess. That's what averages and stats say.
Yeah, I think so. Missing the 2 centre-backs, the back 5 they've had for so many years, it seems to be disintegrating now. To miss those 2 in this vital game, and the fact that Arsene Wenger as well talked down the FA Cup a little bit, hasn't he? He's been saying it's more important to finish in the top 3 in the Premiership. I just got a sneaking feeling Chelsea can do something here in this match.
Robert Perez sounded very dignified there, and he addressed the issues very well, but you both think Thierry Henry is a magnificent player, don't you?
I think he's the best in the Premiership at the moment. I think, if anything, he doesn't score as many goals as his play deserves. He gets in some great positions, and if you can criticise anything about him at the moment, it's just that, the ability to finish clinically.
Is that the way you see it, Paul, Henry being such a marvellous player?
I think he's outstanding, yeah. His movement's fantastic. He's got everything, pace, strength, and he can score goals. And I know Steve's been a bit critical there, but I think you get in any Premiership team in the country, and I think that's how highly people regard him.
That's quite a game tomorrow as well, and there'll be full commentary on both tomorrow's Cup ties on 5 Live. 5 Live for Arsenal, Chelsea and Liverpool against Manchester City, followed by the quarter-final draw.
I'm the kind of character that I hate people wasting their talent. I really do. Maybe because I ain't got enough, but whatever. It's kind of players and they're not winning things, then or putting the effort in. I think that's the first thing that should come naturally. You give your 100%, and we've got standards at this club, and I noticed that we were underachieving. There's a lot of great players at this club that were not playing up to their potential, and that saddened me, and I wanted to get them motivated again. I've been very pleased with the response. I think it helps that I actually can get out into the training pitch and encourage them. It's hard to do it from the treatment room. It's a very important step for me that I actually got out there and started to work every day with them. And that was the first step, and then what people are seeing now is the final product, as it were, and we're starting to get a few results together, but it don't just turn on like a tap. I love playing for my country. Every game that I played and to captain my country, it was just phenomenal. I loved, and I want to play more and more for my country, but it's just, so it was a tough decision. It was a tough decision, but one I feel that benefit me and and Arsenal, I want to go on forever, you know, but it's not real, and my body's kind of told me over the last couple of years that I can't combine the two.
There's no Alan Shearer now, there's no Tony Adams. Who should be the next England captain, do you think?
That's not my decision, you know, I keep out of them games.
Do you see in David Beckham the stature for somebody who could be and would make a good England captain?
I think he's a lovely guy. I think one of the things David's got going for him, that he's learning from his mistakes, and I think that you've got a hell of a chance if you can learn your mistakes, learn from them and move on. And the way he rolled up his sleeves after '98 and won a treble for Man United was phenomenal.
David Seaman, you know him so well and you've seen him at his best. Is he still England's #1?
I think David is a great goalkeeper. If you're good enough, you play, as far as I'm concerned. You know, if you're good enough, it doesn't matter about age. I think he's the best goalkeeper in the country at the moment, and if I was the manager, I'd be playing Dave Seaman.
Arsenal captain, next, after you.
It's going to be tough for someone after me. I'm not saying that out of ego, just the fact that I've been here so bloody long. But I love Patrick, I love his spirit, and I love his fire in his belly, and he loves his football club as well. You know, over the years that I've seen that, you know, he's got the desire. He's a very different captain, but I think he's got what it takes.
When do you expect to stop playing? Have you put a date anywhere near it?
I'm not looking beyond 2002, to be honest with you. That's my kind of, that's enough. I think my family need me now. You know, Daddy's made too many sacrifices. So maybe 2002, but who knows.
Arsene Wenger says you are one of the most potential natural coaches he's ever seen. Coaching, next?
Yeah, I think I've taught Arsene a few things. I can't see myself doing it before I'm 40.
Not doing, say, like Gianluca Vialli did, when you jump if offered a chance?
I've spoken to Luca about that and he regrets it. He really wishes that he took some time out. You know, I've given quite a lot to this game and to Arsenal, and time for rest, I think.
His Arsenal career now spans 3 decades. He's the club's most successful skipper. If Sir Alex Ferguson's departure will leave a big hole at Manchester United, at the same time next year, Adams and Wenger could exit Highbury. The captain won't be going quietly.
I don't want to fade out the game and not win anything. I must hang them up there, you know. It's not my intention to do that.
Is this team able to win the Champions League?
I think it's got a trophy in it, whether it's the Champions League or the FA Cup or the League, I don't know. But, I do believe they're good enough. Like I said, it's one of the best squads that I've been a part, so they've got a trophy in them somewhere.
His influence at Arsenal is not in dispute, Andy, but you also sense that he sees himself as some kind of a guardian of the club as well.
Well, it's understandable. He's been there so long. He's the sort of guy that's going to become a role model to players now. Had his problems over the years, we all know about. Seen all of them offers. He's done so many strikers over the years. He's a fantastic player. I have a hell of a lot of respect for Tony as a person and a player. I just think the older guys sometimes get taken for granted too often. You know, when you're an older guy, you tend to, if you play well, it's expected. If you play poorly, you're finished. Hey, they half missed him when he's not been playing. There's no doubt about that. He's a fantastic player.
Absolutely, and Arsene Wenger said he's the most natural coach he's ever met, of somebody that he anticipates will be. Were you surprised that he says he sees himself taking a big gap out of football?
I do actually, because the way he's talking there, he's not talking as a player. He's talking about them and they, and he's actually talking about, really talking about his team. I mean, there is a manager there called Arsene Wenger, but Tony's obviously adding to that side of it. Rather than just being a player, he can stand back, he can influence, and he can shape the team, and he can influence players' minds as well. So the natural, really, the next step for him would be to go into either coaching. I think he's probably more of a manager. If we do have a difference between managers and coaches now, I see him being a leader of men, which he's very, very good at.
He's got this amazing record with David Seaman as well, hasn't they? When the two start together, the stats show what an influence the two of them are as a backbone to the team.
Well, absolutely, as you see there, they've played 13, they've won 11 when they've been together and just lost the 1. That's years of a natural understanding that they have together, respect for each other, and they know what it's all about. You know, yeah, Tony Adams not playing tomorrow. He's going to be missed, you know, because they've got a few injury problems, 1 or 2 others out.
Keown out as well,
yeah.
Andrea Parla, and I think it gives Chelsea better than a fighting chance actually, because they're on a good vein of form as well. They're confident. They're going well. They've turned it round since September. Much improved.
They've got 100% away record in the FA Cup.
They're brilliant away from home, aren't they?
And they've got this man Gronkiar as well, Andy.
Yeah, he's a bit useful. I mean, they paid a lot of money for him from Ajax, but what I like about him, he can play on either flank, you know, and he looks naturally quite two-footed, cuts in here, look, and hits one. This was against Gillingham in the earlier round. He looks a useful buy. Chelsea have lacked a little bit of pace and a little bit of real natural
He's added
width.
a dimension, hasn't he? To
Yeah,
the
he's given them something more.
Pace. He gives them pace, he gives them balance, and more importantly, he gives another option from goals point of view.
So
I would like to play against him, by the way.
Do you see Chelsea going one better than their draw in the league at Highbury this season?
I think they've got a great chance, yeah.